Hello and welcome to another sculpting time-lapse video. It's been a while since my last video, but I still been sculpting. I still been practicing, doing other projects as well. But that being said, this video is going to be a little bit different because instead of just focusing on my process, I want to talk about a little something called burnout and how to get past it. We all have had that art block, writer's block, or whatever creative endeavor you feel stuck and are having trouble getting past. We know all that how that feels. So that being said, this video I'm also going to talk a little bit about my process, but mostly it's to focus on the subject of burnout and how to get past it. Burnout can often happen after either a big project or some life changes. And my advice to you to start off right off the bat is try something new, do something different, take a break. Try if your main thing is sculpting like me, do drawing, jump to drawing, painting. If it's writing, try another creative aspect that can get your creative juices flowing once again. That's always a great way. And when you're ready to jump back into what you do and what brings you joy and life and all that, start with something simple. Try something new, but tackle something a little bit more simpler than what you usually go for, but that still excites you. That's the main key, and that's what this project represents for me. After my big Naruto piece that I did, I've kept sculpting, but I hit a certain amount of art block or creative endeavor that I kind of just slow down my process. So this is what this Vivi sculpt represents for me, was jumping back on the horse and getting back to sculpting and exploring and playing. Main key is playing as well. Just have fun with it, don't take it too seriously, and just enjoy your process, and what your results will come out, or it will surprise you at the end. A quick side note, I want to apologize in advance. There's going to be some jumping around in the video that you're going to see from portrait to landscape. When I was recording, it was I ended up working on portrait view for some time, and then landscape, which you're going to see toggle back and forth. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get into it. So why sculpt Vivi? So first of all, I really enjoy Final Fantasy. Even though I haven't played that much of Final Fantasy 9, I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, so Vivi was a big thing growing up for me, seeing him in Kingdom Hearts 2. I love fighting him in, was it Travis Town, Twilight Town? Whatever the case, I really always enjoyed Vivi's design, his simple style. He has really cool style. He has a worn down mage outfit, which I think is amazing. Torn up hat with patches, which is something that I'm really attracted me towards his design as well. He looks like a scruffy wizard, which is awesome, and also his simple details. So as much as his simple face is pretty much just a round oval with kind of glowing hollow eyes, which is a really cool aspect of it, which is why I also chose him, because his features weren't so complex that I was gonna be kind of getting crazy over the small little details, and I could just focus on the overall big picture and go from there. Even though his design was simple, I still really enjoyed the challenge of giving him that dynamic action pose of him hovering, summoning the fire, being surrounded by the fire and controlling it. That was something that really appealed to me in the Art by Stars Soul Art. That really brought that forth, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this justice. He's simple enough, but also challenging enough that is gonna get me back on the horse, which is another great aspect of why I wanted to tackle him in the first place. When starting back up, don't worry too much about the end result. Just kind of flow, let yourself work, get into it. As for me, I started off with a block out, not worrying too much about how it was looking. I just wanted to block him out, make sure all the proportions look correctly. I remember one of the challenging parts at first for me was the image and also Vivi's design. He literally has no neck, so I was trying to get the anatomy right for him. Okay, if maybe he has a little stub for a neck, because his overall literally just his head and his collar, and then that's pretty much what you see. So I had to kind of figure that aspect out of it, which was a fun part. But just going from there and just letting myself flow, not worry too much about the small details, and just keep going, keep pushing, allow myself to make mistakes, allow myself to kind of explore his design and even like what's underneath all the clothes and everything like that. It made me kind of see how I can go for it. And usually when I sculpt my characters, I usually always do like a torso underneath, or even if it's a bust, I don't jump right into the clothing, just because it also gives me like a bigger picture of like how those clothes would fit onto him. Because if I would have just done his coat, I'm like, okay, does this look correct? Does this fit correctly? Does this puzzle work with him? And in that case, like, I would have to do more work in the end. So instead of jumping right to those designs, I work what's underneath first, and then I build on top, for I can have like a right measurement of how he looks. And it's kind of like an action figure. You have like a posable action figure, and then when they design them, they usually have like clothes on them, and you can see how it fits properly and it looks correct afterwards. Also, I didn't mention this in the beginning, but the app that I'm working on is called Nomad Sculpt. It's available for the iPad, Android tablets, and I believe it's also coming to PC soon. But I do all my work on Nomad and Blender, so I go back and forth between projects, and depending on the sculpt that I'm going to do, I decide, or sometimes I go to Nomad just because I can go anywhere with it. I can go to a coffee shop, work from there, and yeah. And as for Blender, I like they all have their ups and downs, so choose that you're most comfortable with. In my case, I go between both depending on the project there and where I'm gonna be at the time. And as for Vivi, like, one of my favorite parts of this sculpt was his hat. Unfortunately, I lost some of the footage for the hat, but if I put in with what I had, and I do tweak it and go on it as well. But I'm building the general shape. I ended up using a tube and I believe a cylinder or some kind to make the base of the hat, and then I sculpted it from there. But overall, this sculpt was great. It was a great sculpt to get back on, like jump back on sculpting. Like I've sculpted for a while, and then I know like I haven't uploaded in a minute, but I do have a lot more sculpts that I've done after Vivi that if you're interested in checking out, you can see my Instagram is linked in my bio on my YouTube page, so you can jump in and see what else I've worked on. But regardless, this sculpt was amazing, a lot of fun to work on, do the little details, add the folds to the clothing, the hat was extremely fun to work on, painting him, designing him, making the flames, everything else. But for the rest of the video, I'm just gonna let it rock, and hope you guys enjoy, and I'll get back to you guys at the closing. If you guys made it this far, thanks for watching. If any of my advice helped you out or gave you some guidance, I think that's amazing. Let me know down in the comments. I appreciate you watching once again. If you like what you see and you like the end result, maybe check out some of my other stuff on my other socials and also here on YouTube. I'm going to be uploading more often, so I appreciate it. And if you liked it, consider liking and subscribing. Thanks again, guys. Take care.